And the impeachment trial has been a big trending topic all over social media as they reconvene at 1 p.m. today. Let's talk about the tentative possible schedule or calendar for the next couple weeks, what we're looking at here. So today, on Tuesday at 1 o'clock, they're going to vote on the rules, also start the opening arguments. As for the rules, there are some changes. They're similar but not identical to the format that was set for President Clinton's impeachment trial back in '99. These rules would eliminate about 4 hours of debate. Then moving to Wednesday and Tuesday and Thursday there, the prosecution will begin their arguments coming from the House managers. You can see the 7 here that House Speaker Nancy Pelosi decided on. Then Friday and Saturday will move to the defense arguments. Questions and answers starting next week, Monday and Tuesday, and a witness procedure vote on Wednesday. So they do need a simple majority to allow witnesses, which just means down the middle +1 there. They would need 4 Republicans to flip their vote in order to allow witnesses. Democrats potentially would call these 4 to testify here. John Bolton, former National Security Advisor, Mick Mulvaney, acting White House Chief of Staff, Robert Blair, Senior Advisor to Mulvaney, and then Robert Duffy from the Office of Management and Budget. And no word on exactly how long those testimonies would last. Now, for the president to actually be removed from office following this trial, they would need about 20 Republicans to flip their vote. Let us know if you support the impeachment proceedings. We've got this question live on our WCNC app right now. I know you guys have been voting over the course of the last couple hours. So what are the updated results at this point, guys?
It's not on the screen. Right now.
It was 50-50 just a second ago. Right.
Yep. And you know, this goes to show that we do really want to know your opinion. You got to vote in this WCNC poll because it changed. Beginning 70% saying yes, 30% saying no, and now we're 50-50.
By the way, I just want to say real quick, you were mentioning some of the Republicans that would have to switch over. Just keep your eye on our 2 Republican senators here in North Carolina. We're a swing state. Tom Tillis up for re-election this year, and also Richard Burr as well. So keep your eye on them because they'll be under pressure.
I was just going to say the ones who are up for election are
especially
under pressure.
All right, Rachel, thanks.